Hi, and welcome to the Microsoft Outlook 2013 training for the FS Builder Resources family of companies. I'm Jody Crosby, and will be performing this training today. We'll start by looking at the layout of Outlook. This is what it looks like right here. At the top, you'll notice that you have File, Home, Send, Receive, Folders, View, Add-ins, Bluetooth. You may have different ones. I have Bluetooth on here, so you may not have that. This is basically the tabs for Outlook, and below it are the ribbons. If you change the tab, then you'll have the ribbon below. So each one of these will show you what they call a ribbon. Most everything will be done from the Home tab. On the left-hand side, you'll see that you have a Favorites area at the top, and then on the left-hand side below that, you'll have your actual Outlook inbox. Just to the right of that, you have the actual list of emails, and then to the right of that, your preview of the email. Now, all of these can be changed however you would like to see them. On the far right, you'll see that you have a calendar and your tasks, and I'll show you more about that. You can change this layout by clicking, these are called little carrots, is what they call them. You can click on this to make that smaller if you don't want to see all that information, or you can click it again to expand it back out. Same thing with your ribbon bar. Here's a carrot here. You can actually collapse the ribbon bar so that it doesn't show. To see it, you would click on the tab, and then the ribbon bar would drop below. You can do that for each one of them. If you click off of it, then you'll notice that it disappears again. If you want it to stay, just click on Home or one of the tabs, and then scan over here to the right and notice that there's a little pin. You can click on the pin to pin it back down so that it'll stay in the down position. And you'll notice that your reading pane and everything adjusted accordingly. So one of the things I like to tell people about is this View tab. The View tab allows you to change how this layout is presented. You can go to Folder View right here under Layout and click on it. The folder view is the area on the left that we talked about minimizing. Now, we minimized it for a moment. Once you closed and open Outlook again, it would be back to normal because normal is checked. But if I check minimize, then every time you open Outlook, this on the folder view will be minimized on the left. Now we could click this caret to make it large again, but the minute we click off, actually no, it'll stay open. Okay, so let's see. So it's back to normal. Okay, so you can turn it off if you don't want to see it. I don't recommend that. I usually leave mine open, especially since we have such large widescreen monitors now. The reading pane, I like mine out to the right, so you'll notice that I have the list of emails in my reading pane out to the right, but you can change this. You can have your list of emails up above and then have your reading pane down below, or you can turn it off if, let's try that again. You can turn it off, and you'll just have the list of the emails with a basically one sentence of the email to kind of give you an idea of what's in the email. There again, since we have the wide monitors, I like to go ahead and have mine on the right. And then there's the to-do bar. The to-do bar is this bar on the right. I love this bar. You can have calendar, people, and tasks on the to-do bar. I normally just keep the calendar and tasks on there because if I'm working in an email, I can look over here and check a date. I can click on the arrow to go back to October. I can click forward to go to December. It's all kind of right at the, my fingertips to the right. Tasks, which we'll cover later, it's really nice to have this list over here so that you can see things that you need to follow up on. And as you can see, you can drag this down. Anything you have on the calendar, like meetings, will show up here on the right. So it's kind of nice to have that where you can see it. All right, so down here at the bottom, you'll see that you have mail, calendar, people, and tasks. These are the main areas of the application. If anybody used Outlook 2010, you'll notice that these have moved to the bottom from the left-hand side. They used to be left of your inbox. So now they're at the bottom, and you can access these different areas of the Outlook application down here. If we go back to the Home tab, which is where, like I said, you'll do most of your work, you'll notice that you have new email or new item. You can actually create an appointment from here, or a meeting, or a contact, or a task. I mean, you can do anything from the other main areas of the application from here if you'd like. There are different junk mail settings or inbox cleanups. I'm not really going to go into depth into these things, but I will send out a training material that has some more in-depth information, and you can also Google and check out the internet. There's reply, reply all, and forward that you can use. I really like the quick steps. Quick steps are used if you receive an email, you receive a lot of emails that you forward directly to your manager, or if you create emails to a group of people, then you can create these quick steps that'll help you reply to emails or forward them. So if I have an email that I want to forward to a manager, I can have it be named to the manager, I can have it forward, and then I can set who I would like it to go to by clicking on to, and say I want it to go to Amy Griffith. Then I can click OK, and when I click that quick step, it'll automatically forward that email to Amy Griffith. I'm going to cancel this. Or you can have a team email where you can say you want to create a new email to the team. You can say here's new email, and two, you can add a list of people into it so that you can go ahead and create a quick email using a quick step. And these are kind of self-explanatory: reply and delete, done if it's a task. You can create new ones. Anything you would possibly want to do, you could create a quick step. Mark as read, mark as unread. I mean, there's a lot of different things you could do. You'd have to play around with that. I just want to basically show it to you. There's move and rules. I know you've probably used these in GroupWise, where if you're receiving spam, you can create a rule the minute that it comes into your inbox. You can have it go to the junk mail or deleted items. There's read and unread. I've already read this email, but I can click on there to make it unread so that I know to go back and read it again. I use that whenever I read something and I don't have time to process it. I'll go ahead and click to make it unread so that I'll remember to go back and read it again. And then there's follow-up. If I have an email that I need to follow up on, I can just click on this follow-up. I can say today, tomorrow, this week, next week. So I'm going to say today on this one. You'll notice that it now has a red flag. So the red flag tells me I need to do something with it. Now I can leave it in my inbox and see it from there, but as you can see, you might have to start scrolling down in order to see the red check marks. I mean, that's kind of one way to do it. See, here's one that's pink. It's next week. But the other way to do it is in this right-hand area I was telling you about that has tasks, and we'll talk about that more. It actually holds all of your reminders or follow-ups. So in order to do the follow-up, you can do it here or other ways. I mean, there you can actually click it from here. You can also click here to say that it's done now that there's a check mark there instead. Address book, if you need to look somebody up, you're not really doing an email, but maybe you need their phone number, you can click on address book and do a search for their name and get their phone number if it's listed. We'll try to get this cleaned up and get all the phone numbers in, but we'll kind of have to work with HR in order to populate that. All right, so let's go into a new email. So new email is pretty much the same as GroupWise. If you're going to send to someone, you can click on to. You can do a quick search to find, there's Robert Bonner. I can double click on Robert Bonner, or I can click on someone and click the to, or I can click on someone else and click on the CC. If I want to copy them, if I need somebody to be blind copied, then I can do a blind copy, and all of those will be populated, as you can see right up here. I can type in my subject and then type in the body of the email and then click send. Of course, I'm not going to do that now, but let me show you some other things you can do. So you'll notice that the text is really small. If I wanted to, I could change the type of text. So let me highlight it first. This would be going forward, but I want to highlight it and change it to Arial, and it's kind of small, so I'm going to make it larger. You can also use these larger and smaller, so I can make it larger, 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 or I can make it smaller, smaller since it's highlighted. You can also use your bullet points or outlines. You can center it, left justify or right justify. You can highlight. I know that sometimes I like to highlight text when I want to make a point, just like that. Anything you can do in Word, you can pretty much do to the text in your email, just to let you know. Okay, and then you can attach a file by clicking Attach File, and let's see. So I just attached our logo. You can see how big it is and that it's attached, and then you can send it. Of course, I'm not going to send this one. I don't want to send out junk email. So I'll say, do you want to save changes? No. Okay. So let me show you about signatures. Probably the easiest way to get to the signatures is by clicking on a new email. And you'll notice that your signature is right here. So I've set up several signatures, but if I go into the bottom, I can actually look at all my signatures. So let me delete this one. Okay. So I have a personal one for, sending an email out to the soccer team or to the teacher, or if you want to have a separate one, you can. Then there's, you can create a work one or whatever you'd like to call it just by clicking on New. So if I click on New and I'll name it Work, you'll see that it's now listed in here. And then basically here is where you edit down below. So I've highlighted the one I want to edit, and now I can create whatever I'd like to create. So it's the same way. I can say I want it to be Arial, I'd like it to be 12 point, and if I want to, I can actually, add a logo or, anything I'd like to do. Let's see, if I open my computer, let's see, go into pictures. Here's I'm going to copy this design gallery. I'm going to go back into my signature. I'm going to right click and say paste. And now you'll see I have the design gallery logo in there just by copying and pasting. Okay, so now I've created my signature, and I can say, okay, for my account, I want new messages to have the work, and then you can decide whether you want your replies and forwards to have a signature at all. Some people like to put a signature on their first email, but if they're replying or they're forwarding, they'll go ahead and sign with a different type of signature. Or you can go ahead and make it the same, or you could create a reply type signature that's automatically populated, however you'd like to do that, and then say OK. So now I'm using the work version. You'll notice that it'll be different than this one, since this one has flooring misspelled. Okay, so I'll click on new email, and you'll notice that it is actually added to the email from the time that you open it, so you can actually see the signature while you're typing. All right, so that's signatures. Let's talk about, as you can see, this is bolded, so it hasn't been read. Remember, I made it unread, so I'm going to double click on it to open it. I can go ahead and read it, and it is a meeting that I created that Mark Ariola accepted. So if I want to, I can go ahead and delete that. And here's a test. I'll double click on that. Now for this one, I can click on reply, reply all, or forward. Reply all, of course, replies to everybody that was in the sent email. Reply is just the person who sent it to you. Forward allows you to send it on somewhere else. You can go ahead and say block sender. There's other things you could do. You can read more about that. Or, let me close this, you can click on the email and here's your reply, reply all, and forward right from your home bar. You'll notice that it opens a draft. Here's your preview pane. You can do everything from here, or you can pop it out into its own window and continue to respond to it. Now drafts has their own box, so you inbox drafts, send items, deleted items, junk mail, outbox, and search folders. Drafts, I've actually created a draft that I didn't send. So it's sitting in the drafts. I can go back and finish it up if I want to, or delete it from there. Okay, so let's talk about the different send, receive. If you feel like your email is not being sent, you can click on this. Notice at the bottom right down here on the right, almost to the end, it says online with Microsoft Exchange. That means I have a connection. If you notice that emails are starting to go into your outbox right over here, that you're starting to get email that's sitting there, you might look down here to see if you have a connection. If it says trying to connect or whatever, you may have lost the connection to the Exchange server. I'd wait a little while, see if it re-establishes a connection, and those automatically will be sent from your outbox. Or you can go over here and click on Send, Receive All Folders, and it will receive into your inbox. It will send from your outbox if there's a connection. From folders, you can create new folders. Now we're recommending that you not create them under this inbox. Once you are live on Outlook and your GroupWise email is brought over from GroupWise, you'll have a couple of other inboxes. There'll be an archive inbox and a GroupWise inbox. We're recommending that you create a new folder under the archive inbox to start putting your old emails into an archive. This will allow you more room on the server because there will be limited room on the server, and you want to basically delete or move the email off of the server, and you'll learn more about this as we roll out. There are a lot of other useful tools in here that I'm not going to point out just because we don't have the time. So here's the view again. Here's the layout. Remember, it's under view. I just want to remind you of that. Okay, we're going to go back to home, and now we'll move on to the calendar. Calendar, if you'll click on that, it'll pull up your calendar. I love the calendar. It's a very powerful tool. It's something that I use quite frequently. Every day I keep all my meetings, I keep all my personal things on it also. And my personal opinion is, and actually I think the company standpoint will be that we would like for you to put company and personal items on your calendar. The reason is if you are trying to remember that, say, you have a Boy Scout meeting on Saturday that you need to attend, or you have a meeting with your children's teacher or a dental appointment or whatever, I don't want you to have to remember it. Just put it on your calendar, and that way it'll also block off time for other people that can't see exactly what you're doing, but they'll see that you're going to be out of the office, and I'll show you that in a moment. So please feel free to use personal items on your calendar as well. Okay, so we have your calendar, November, December here. You can advance that forward or you can go backwards. Anytime, if you've advanced way out into next year, in order to get back to today, just in the go to right here, click on today, and you're going to come right back to today. So don't worry about that. Now, you can arrange by day, and you'll notice that I had a go-to meeting at 2 o'clock. Here's 8 a.m. through 5 o'clock, so you can see your full day. Work week is Monday through Friday, so you can see what you have today, but also what's tomorrow and Thursday and Friday. You can have a week, so you can see your weekends also, which is Sunday through Saturday, and then the month. Now, I normally keep mine on the week, but for this training, we'll keep it on the month. All right, so if you create a new appointment, this is what it will look like. You'll have a subject line, so I can say I have a dental appointment with Dr. Smile, and it's picking up today's date because I didn't choose a date, so I actually have that Friday at noon. Should be gone for about an hour. Okay, so I can add directions or any address, anything else I might need here. Below, I can show that I am going to be out of the office, and then I want a reminder about an hour before, so it pops up and kind of keeps it in my head that I need to be leaving shortly. And then I set up in a category where I changed purple to personal. You'll notice that orange category, red category, yellow category, I haven't changed those. I did change these: team vacation time, personal, and meetings. So this is personal, so I'm going to click on that and then save and close. So now I have a very nice visual of something personal on Friday. I also see I have meetings here, and then see Mark Ariola is on vacation starting here. So this gives me a nice clear representation with colors. We all love colors, right on your calendar. Now I can do a new meeting, and see how it actually has the 2. So I'm going to say that this is a test meeting, and it's going to be determined, and I'm going to make it for Friday, let's say 10:30 to 11:30. Okay. Now, the nice part, if everybody is updating and utilizing their calendar, is I can go into right here, Scheduling Assistant. Click on Scheduling Assistant. I can go right down here to Add Attendees, and I can say Bob Bonner and Mark Ariola. Oh, left out the R. Robert McConnell. And Jason. Okay. So I'm going to say they're all required, and then Rants I'm going to make optional. He can come if he wants to. Okay, so this is what we have. Now you'll see next to my name right here that I have a dental appointment at 12 o'clock. Remember, we just put that on there. But the main thing I want you to notice is the color. It shows that I'm out of the office. If you look down here, busy, tentative, out of the office, working elsewhere, no information. Those are all things that you can choose when you're setting up appointments on your calendar. Now, if Bob and Mark and Robert and Jason and Rance all had updated their calendar with meetings and things like that, then I would be able to see exactly what's going on. So notice right here, starting at 4 o'clock, that Mark Ariola, that's outside of working hours. He wishes that was outside of his working hours. So that would show me that, you know, he's not going to be in the office outside of his hours. So I can actually take this line and drag it to place it someplace where there are not, you know, where everybody can attend. They're not in meetings or out of the office or at another location and whatever. So once I've established the time that I like, then I can go back over to the appointment if I want to and see if there's going to be any problems. So as you can see, oh, it looks like Rance's email address is no longer valid. So we'll have to check on that. So it won't be delivered. Okay. But otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and send this meeting request. Okay. So now if you look on the 15th, I have a team meeting from 9:30 to 10:30, and then 12 to 1, I have a dental appointment. Okay. So I can go to the work week and actually see how they're split out. One in the morning, one at midday, and it shows that clearly. Okay. So back to the month. Now, from here, you still have your send and receive. You have folders. There's ways to create new calendars for different things. You can share calendars. Those are all things that we'll get into once y'all are used to the application. There are reminders. I mean, there's a lot of different things that you can view in here. Most of your work will be done from the Home tab. All right, so let's move on to People. Okay. People, if you've worked in the Outlook before, People is contacts. That's really all that is. So you can add a new contact. See, they left it contacts here. You can add a new contact and just fill in this just like you would anything else. You can actually create it from an address book entry if you'd like. So it'll add that from there. So he doesn't have a phone number in, so I can say Aaron, hey. And now I have Aaron Hay's email address in my contact. To edit it, I would just double click on it to open the contact, and I can go ahead and add mobile number or anything I'd like in there, and then click Save and Close. All right. Now, right now you'll notice that the current view we're looking at is List. I can change this view to Phone Number, which really highlights the phone numbers. You notice I don't have any. I can change this to a Card view, which I don't really care for this view, but anyway, that's kind of what it looks like. A Business Card view, where you actually have what looks like a business card, or just People, where you have a list. Now you can, if you have a long list of contacts, then you can click on, one of the alphabet over here, or you can click on the search and pull up just what you want. To clear the search, you just click on the X. So contacts are nice when you are using mail. Okay, so if you place in your contacts personal people or builders, names, numbers, things of that nature, then you can go to New Email and you can go to Address Book. And up here under Address Book you'll see Global Address List. That's all, everybody in our companies. But if you change it to Contacts, then this is everybody in your contacts, and you can actually search for the contact you're looking for quickly by looking at it in your contacts. Now it will automatically populate once you've typed it in once. You'll notice that I've actually typed in Kelly's one time, and so therefore it is populating. Now if you mistyped and you find that you need to get rid of this entry, then you just click on this X and delete it, and then once you type it in correctly, from then on it will be there again. Okay. All right. For searching in your inbox, we'll talk about the search a little bit. If you click on search, you'll notice that now you have a search tools right up here. There's recent searches, there's other indexes, there's other things you can do. I'm not going to teach you about all of it. I will teach you about doing, if it has, say it's an email, it has an attachment, you can click on Has Attachments, and now all of the emails that have attachments will be shown here. To get rid of that filter, you just click on the X and click in here, and I can type in, let's say, Larry. I want any email that has Larry in it. So it's actually posting the emails that have Larry. See, they're all highlighted. Okay. All right, and the last one is tasks. You notice if I hover over it, it shows all the tasks I have. Now, some people have a few tasks, some people have a lot of tasks. Like we said earlier, these are tasks, the tasks that are shown here also. Now let me show you why I like this so much. If you go into the tasks portion of the application, they'll all be listed right here. So instead of having to scroll down through your emails to find the ones with the red flag, like I almost missed that one. This one has a red flag, right? They're kind of hard to see. If you go to tasks, they're all listed for you right here. Now there's different views. You can have a detailed view, that shows you the ones you finished, what category they were in. You can actually look back at them. You can do just the to-do list, which is what we were on. You can look at just ones that are prioritized and how they're prioritized. Okay, so I'm going to go back to this list. Now, if it was created from an email, you can double-click on it and it'll actually pull up the email that it was created from, which is nice. If it was created from a task, it'll pull up the task. Now, this was one that I actually created for myself. So where you click on the follow-up in order to create the red flag for it to be a task, you can also click on New Task. And then you can type in what it is, what it is you need to do. You can say when you need to start that, when it's due. You can even set a reminder. So I want a reminder. Actually, I want a reminder it's due by the 15th, but I just want to keep it in my sight. So around 9 in the morning on Thursday, I want to get a reminder. Now, you can actually assign tasks to other people, which is when the status and priority comes in. I'm the owner of this one, so I know what the percent complete and all that is, so I'm not really worried about that. But you can actually assign tasks. I don't recommend doing it. It kind of upsets some people when you assign them a task. But if you find that it's helpful, then by all means read about it and figure it out. So I have a reminder and I put it in. So see how it's saying this week I have Outlook training. I know there's a reminder set for it. And this gives me the information on it right here. So this kind of helps me keep up with the things that I need to do. Now you can change the follow-up to today, tomorrow, next week, whatever you'd like to do. You can actually remove them. You can, like I could remove this by clicking here and saying remove from list, or I could go here and click on the flag and it will go away. If I go to the simple list, then I can see that, this has been checked. It was checked. Oh, the due date was 11/13 and it's already done. This one was the 12th and it's done. Now you can use categories on these also. Go back. All right. Let's go back to mail, which is where you'll be most of the time. And let's see. Let's go to this File tab. A File tab is really just a tab that you'll use every once in a while. So if we click on it, you'll notice that you have your account settings. Here's what you need to know about the automatic replies. So for automatic replies out of the office replies, you'll send an automatic reply. You can tell it what dates you're going to be gone if you want to do a date range. You can check on that and then tell it you're going to leave this date through this date, and then you can actually type in here, I will be away from my desk from November whatever to whatever. Please contact somebody else, however you'd like to do that. You can set these inside my organization or outside my organization. So inside my organization is anybody within the family of businesses will receive your automatic reply. Outside of if you turn this on and populate this, it will send that reply to anybody outside of the family of businesses. The only thing I say with this is to be careful that you're not giving too much information. I will be away from my desk would probably be the best thing, or I'm in training. I wouldn't say I'm out of the country on vacation, things like that that you wouldn't want everybody to know. So be careful with responses outside of the companies. That's why they separate these out, so that you can be careful with what you say. Once you've established what you want, you click OK, and it's going to turn on the out of office for you. Then you can either turn it back, you can turn it off when you get back, or you can have the end time that turns it off, one of the two. Oh, did I click OK? Cancel is what I meant to click. OK. All right, and then manage rules and alerts. I know that some of y'all have rules to automatically route your email based on who it's from or things like that. If you would like to create rules and alerts, you can also do that from here. You can learn more about that by searching the internet or from the, I believe it may be covered in some of the training that we have. And that's pretty much all of the application that I'm going to cover today. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask your IT department. Anybody should be able to help you. If they don't know, they should be able to find out for you. And we'll be happy to help you as much as we can. That's all for the training today. I hope you have a great day and look forward to our next training. Thank you.